Well, hi, team. I'm Fitz Koehler, your very noisy race announcer from the Fitzness Show. And welcome. We're going to talk about the St. George Marathon. We have so much to cover. We have such a big weekend in store. Truth be told, this is actually going to be my first weekend at the St. George Marathon. And once I got hired to come make happy noise and spread lots of love to all of our athletes, my other race director started reaching out to me and saying, "You're so lucky. It's such a well-organized race and such a beautiful place, and the people are incredible, and you're going to love it." So much like many of you, I am absolutely stoked to get to Utah this weekend. And our show tonight, we're going to discuss everything you need to know to make the best of race weekend. So whether you've been here 48 times before, because this is the 49th presentation, which is insanity, absolutely insanity. I can't imagine what next year is going to be like. But yeah, if you've been here 48 years, we're going to tell you something maybe you haven't heard before and prepare you. And if you've never run a race anywhere and this is your first one, we're going to make sure you're fully prepared to hit all the hot spots and park at the right places or the right times and just have so much fun and get from your start to the finish lines with a smile on your face. So this is how the show works. I'm going to bring in our race director. We're going to discuss everything. Your job is to ask questions, share comments. We want you to be a big part of this conversation. And if you stay silent, I will come into your house and I will grab you and I will yank you through the computer screen and make you take part. So you might as well start speaking up ASAP. So in the meantime, what I want you to do is use the comment section wherever you are to tell us what races you are running or walking this weekend. And as you do that, I'm going to bring in the queen of the St. George Marathon, our race director, Michelle Graves.
Hello.
Hey, Michelle.
Hi. Happy to be here.
Yeah, I can't wait to get to you. We've got a few days till I get on a plane. I'm so excited.
Yeah, we're so excited too. We feel really lucky to have you. It's going to be a great year.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Okay,
Yeah.
so 49 years for St. George. How long have you been with the marathon?
This will be my 7th year. I worked for the city, took a little break, and I'm back with the city in this capacity. And we're a city municipal marathon, and we're the largest and longest running city municipal marathon in the United States. And so, you can call me the race director, but really I have a race operations director. I have an event manager. I'm the assistant director over parks and community services. So I'm your parks and rec girl that just because St. George is a city built on tourism, we host a lot of events. And so part of my department does events, and this is the biggest and most fabulous one we do every year. And we love it the most also.
Wow. Good. I'm glad it's your best one. I'm glad I get to come for the best thing going on in St. George. We've got Isabel Herman. She's doing the marathon. Isabel, is it your first? Is it your 50th? And Morgan Merrill also doing the marathon. How many marathon runners do we have this year?
Well, we capped at 9,000 and it filled fast. So it's about 55 and 35 for our full marathon to half marathon ratio.
Okay.
So we're looking good. We also have some other races. We have a 5K the night before, where some racers like to get a double medal and add a few miles. And that is sold out as well. We have 600 runners in that. We'll have about 400 runners in our kids race, and then a couple hundred in our mayor's walk, which also happens race morning. So, there's something for everyone to do during race weekend. If you're volunteering, spectating, you got to come out and just be a part of it, because everyone can participate in some way.
And everything is sold out. Is that correct?
We still have room in our mayor's walk, and we have about 100 spots left in our kids race.
Okay.
And that's a really fun event because we do the 5K and the kids race the Friday night of the expo. So we just kind of move our expo outside, have little kickoff races, and have this big fun party in the park with like cotton candy and popcorn and I don't know, princesses and bounce houses and all kinds of fun stuff. So it's a good time.
Yeah, it sounds really fun. And everyone knows that cotton candy and popcorn are the perfect pre-marathon meal, right? It's like
Yeah,
pasta
for
and
sure.
cotton candy.
Yeah, that food is more for the 12 and unders.
That's right. That's right. That's
Might
right.
not
Maybe
recommend that as a race director, but yeah, I think you should lean on the pasta side of things.
that's right. Well, you know what? Maybe the veterans can handle a little bit of cotton candy before. So we've got a lot of first timer. We've got Isabel doing her first, and Morgan doing his first, Colin doing his first marathon, James 19th. He can have some cotton candy. Sarah McCready, full. Oh gosh. And then Sarah asks if the connection is choppy. I sure hope the connection isn't choppy. Am I choppy to you, Michelle?
You're not to me. You sound great. How do
Okay.
I sound?
All right. I feel like it probably is. Hopefully just connect choppy for you, Alex. I hope you get it fixed. And Jonathan is not going to eat the cotton candy because he's a very small.
Well, Jonathan is one of our elite runners, so I do not recommend him eating the cotton candy.
Maybe he could grab.
Oh no, I'm thinking Jonathan Cotter. Let's see if he's online. Jonathan Crampton, 145th marathon. What?
That's right. He's a low achiever, that guy.
I think he's done at least 20 for us, so he'll have to chime in.
Incredible. Okay, so folks, this is how we're going to do things. We're going to, I don't like that it's choppy. I feel like it's not choppy. We're going to start at the start, and Michelle's going to tell us what's going on Friday, and we're going to go through that day, and we'll talk about all the details and nooks and crannies of race weekend, and then we're going to go to Saturday. And I know some of you have to catch buses, and there's a whole rigmarole in the morning. So we're going to discuss everything. We're going in order. So if you have questions about the finish line of the marathon, maybe stick those in at the end of the show. If not, I'll try to add them. Know that this show will remain online in perpetuity. So you can watch it again and again and again. You can watch it 300 times between now and the first time you'll go on Friday. So this information is going to be there. The website is pretty darn thorough. So what I always encourage athletes to do, especially on race weekend, knowing that the race team is usually putting out fires, their hair is on fire, trying to set up everything, is use the resources provided to you on the website and here in the show. So instead of just emailing the race director right away saying, what time do I get my bus? Look at the website and you're probably going to find that information. Michelle did not ask me to say that. I just think it's like courteous, and you're not the only one putting fires before a race, right?
Yeah, we try to answer the phones, but we are pretty busy unloading trailers this time of the week. So we'll do the best you can, but I think you can find most of the information you need. So thank you for that.
Of course, of course. Oh, and James, I'll be seeing James for the second time. I announced Fargo Marathon, and that was a lot of fun, James. So I'll look forward to seeing you. Stop by and catch a hug at the expo. Also, I'm very good at hugging, and I like to meet the athletes. And if I can meet you on Friday before you line up at a start line, that allows me to give you a more personal welcome. And it's just nicer when I know you. When I know you, I can say more interesting things to you. And that's my job here, is to be very interesting on the microphone. Oh, first birthday and marathon. Dara, happy early birthday. All right. So what's the first thing, Michelle?
Okay. So you want to start on Friday morning?
Yeah.
Or should we talk? Well, let's talk about our sister marathon just really briefly. Okay. So we have a sister marathon in Ibigawa, Japan. And so each year they send the winners of their race to us, and we send ours to them. And it's really been a great partnership. It's gone on for many years. And so the very first thing, besides starting to pack and unload trailers and set everything up for every one of you, is we're going to welcome our Ibigawa delegation in Wednesday night at 10 p.m. at our City Hall. So if you're in St. George and you just want to come and say hi to the Japanese delegates that have been traveling probably almost 24 hours to get to us, we will set them up with their host families and put them to bed Wednesday night. So that's kind of like our little small kickoff, which is really fun. And then still working for you all on Thursday, and you'll start to see it. You can go visit the start lines and the finish lines. We have our parks department that works hard out there all week to get the park that we welcome athletes in at the finish line all set up, and then also our 2 start lines, which are pretty unique for our race, and we'll get into that. So Friday morning, we are still letting vendors come in at the last minute if they need to set up. And then we have usually a line out the door ready to receive our athletes at 11 a.m. at the Dixie Convention Center, which is right downtown. It's the only convention center we have. Everything is really convenient in St. George if you've never been there to get around to. So we'll open those doors and we will be ready to welcome you. And we just ask that you come with your ID. And if you do decide to pick up for a friend or family member, that you have a copy of their ID. That way we know you're picking up for the right people. So make sure you come prepared for that. And we're going to open our doors and it's really fun. We escort you through, give you your race packet, all the things, interrupt me whenever you want, Fitz. And then we have a really cool merch store. I'm wearing one of our hats tonight for this year's store that will send you through. And then it kind of opens up to our expo, and there's over 35 vendors there. So you want to come and shop. It's free to the public. Anyone can come and shop for athletic wear, nutrition, all the things. And in the center of our expo, we have what we call the living room. And we just want you to like meet your old friends that you see every year and look at all of our maps. And we'll have volunteers out there to talk to you about what to expect for race day and give you pointers and tips. And we'll just shoot you through that way. So that's how it all begins.
So for those who've never done a race before, expo is where you need to come to get your race bib, and the bib is a number. It's not for catching food as you eat. It's the number that you should wear on the front side of your clothing, not the back, not the side, but in front. And then do all of our athletes get a shirt with their bib as well?
Yes, they get a shirt and they get a goodie bag full of really fun things. And that bag is also their unique bag that they'll get a sticker that is also the number on their bib, and they'll put that sticker on their bag and they can bring it to the start line the morning of the race and throw it in a U-Haul when they're all done stripping all their warm clothes to get ready to race. And we'll have that bag, that unique bag for them at the finish line to pick up with all their belongings.
That's right. And you need to bring that bag. So don't bring your favorite big black duffel to the start line. Bring your things in the clear plastic bag.
Yes, because it has to be the clear plastic bag for safety. And then please just don't pack all your like really expensive, cool things. Just wear your, yucky things that you want to strip and get rid of, because we don't guarantee that we get the bags back, but we do a really good job of it. And then also know that if you shed clothing along the course, which you're welcome to do, we're happy to clean it up. That will just go right to donation. So there won't be a way if you, get rid of your favorite sweatshirt 3 miles down the course. If it's not in that bag at the start line, then we just donate it for you.
That's right. And if this is your first marathon, know that when you get done crossing the finish, even if it's hot, you're probably going to feel cold, and you should have something to put on when you're done, and maybe some sandals and maybe a towel or a different pair of pants. So bring comfy things so you can stick around and have fun post-race. Do not throw a wad of cash in your clear plastic bag and your American Express card or your diamond earrings, right?
Yes. And not your cell phone either, preferably. Right. Or your AirPods. We find a lot of things like that.
I know. And you know what? I think there's an incredible return to customer rate with these bags. I almost never hear of anyone not receiving their bag back, but it's still bad form to put your most valuable possessions in there. So caution. Oh, this is a good question. And we're not even there, Heidi, but we're going to answer your question. We're bouncing, but will you provide Mylar blankets and disposable gloves for the start line?
Not gloves, but yes, for the Mylar blankets.
Okay. Okay. That's cool.
Yep.
Most folks only get them at the end. That's really nice of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And we are in your race bag. Spoiler alert. You're getting a unique pair of socks. So if you choose to wear those as gloves, we won't judge you.
That's very cute.
They're really nice.
Also, we won't judge you if you wear a garbage bag as your outfit on race morning because
helps keep the wind, from getting cold. I mean, it is chilly at our start line and warm at our finish line. So we have kind of, 30 miles, 26.2 miles away. We're starting up at about 5,200 feet elevation, and we're running down to 2,600 approximately. So you will start cooler and end warmer. But temperatures are looking great for race day. We're getting a little off track, but it's looking like high 40s to low 50s for race morning, and then a high of 80 at our finish line. So we're keeping an eye on that. Right now, it looks like most runners will finish in the low 70s, which, I mean, you couldn't ask for better than that.
Yeah, it's going to be perfect. It's going to be very perfect. Also, you've been naming these elevations, which makes me laugh because I live in Florida and I'm like, okay.
I love it when I can run at sea level. I feel like a much better athlete.
Well, I do when I announce races in the mountain states. I just feel like these athletes are superhumans. And if you came, I think they should get double credit for running a race in Utah. And then, of course, here in Florida, maybe you get half credit or something. But it's very funny when you're like 2,000 or 5,000 feet. I think, oh my gosh. Okay, so back to the expo. So expo, that's where you get your race bib and your shirt. You get your medal after you cross the finish line. But that's where you want to come and shop. Bring your credit card. You'll have all the official merch. So you can only wear, you can wear your medal every day, but eventually your friends will think you're weird. But if you wear the St. George Marathon hat and hoodie and socks and things, you can brag about your accomplishment all throughout the year. And you really kind of deserve it if you're going to come all the way and run this race or these races, right?
Totally. And so save room in your suitcase. We also do a unique thing. We have these like grab bins for like $3 to $5. So we sell our old merch. So really, like, so many of our athletes, because we love to see you wearing our stuff, just wear our, 1, 2, 3-year-old race shirts and things like that, just to exercise in. And so really, like, save room because there's some good buys and there's some great stuff.
Yeah, really good deals. Yeah, and then if you left your chafing balm at home or your sunglasses, these expos always have that stuff. So if you forgot to pack something when you get to the expo, it will likely be there for you to purchase. And then it's a great way to support the businesses that support us as runners is to do a little shopping.
Yeah, we really appreciate that. We have a running store in town that we partner really well with, and they're locally owned, and they have everything. They usually come with like a lot of shoes on sale too. So like really make room in your suitcase. There's a lot of good things to grab.
What's the name of the running store?
It's called the Running Center. So we love them. They work so well with us. Steve Huber is the owner, and he will have the nutrition that we're using for this year also in his store, and he'll be selling it there as well if you want that.
To have your own stuff. Yeah, I think they just followed me on Instagram today, so they were very nice.
Awesome. Yeah, they also do like a little warm-up run in town just to like welcome athletes in, and it's a free event. So I don't think we can fit 9,000 of you, but come to that if you want to early Friday morning, if you just want a little tune up and meet some fellow racers. It's fun.
Okay. Yeah. Friday morning shakeout. And if you do a shakeout, know that we're not timing you. There's no pressure to go fast. You could walk the whole way. And if you're showing up in town alone, it's a spectacular way to make some friends, right?
Absolutely. Yep, you got it.
Okay, so
Okay, so we're back to the expo. We're getting our packets. We're finding out all the things. And then it's really fun in the afternoon or outside of the expo. We call that the party in the park area. So we have a stage. And then from 4 to 8, we just have music going on. We have food trucks all day out there, so you can come and eat if you want. But then we start to transition at about 5 o'clock out to behind the convention center, which is where our 5K starts. And then at 5:30, we'll start our 5K race that will start and finish at the convention center, right back to the party in the park. And then all the parents that get done in time that want their kids to run, that kids run will start right in the party in the park area at 6:30. And then we will, finish racing, finish partying in the park, and finish our expo at 8 o'clock. We'll close down and move it all to the finish line and get ready for the next day.
yeah, it'll be a busy day. So Diego asked if they can start, if he can get in earlier than 11, but 11 is the start of the expo.
Yeah, we don't open the doors till 11, but be lined up. We'll be ready for it.
Yeah, and then you have to bring your driver's license to pick up your bib, and if you're picking up somebody else's race bib, a copy of theirs. Is that right?
Oh, no. You're fading on me a little bit,
Oh,
Fitz.
that's no good. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. I apologize to the world.
Yeah, we went over that. Bring your driver's license and then bring a copy of a friend's license if you want to pick up for them. You must have that.
And then a reminder, we have 100 spots left in the kids race, right?
100. So get signed up. You can just go right on our website and still sign up for that race if you want to. You could do it by QR code on the expo day if we have spots left.
Okay. So Friday night, everybody goes to bed nice and early. They get a good meal. If you are running any of our longer distance races, know that hydration starts now. So don't wait until Friday to start drinking extra water. Start doing that immediately. I know tapering is tough, but nutrition goes a long way. So make sure you're fueling properly, resting, getting as much sleep as you can. And certainly if you're traveling, bring your empty Yeti so TSA doesn't get cranky, but you can fill it up and keep it with you once you're in the airport. Right?
Right.
Okay. So Saturday morning, very early start, and you've got a big busing situation. So explain to us how that works.
Well, our race course is on a highway that doesn't have side roads to get to it. So all of our buses have to bus athletes on race course up to the start. So we start that at 3:30 in the morning. And you, as racers, have been assigned a bus time. And we give you about a 15-minute leeway, just so you know, don't panic. But we do look at your bibs and make sure that you're getting on the bus at the time that you signed up for. So it's really important. It seems early to have to be up there and sit there. And it is because we use every bus in Washington County and they have to kind of sometimes make a few runs so to get everyone up there. So just be patient with us, but also please arrive during that time. We have a few VIP spots left, so we do sell those at an additional cost if you want that latest bus time. That's for the marathon only. We don't do VIP buses for our half marathon, just the marathon. So that's an option if you just hate your bus time. But I can tell you the party continues up at the start line. And let me just say also about bus loading, if you, for some reason, things don't go well, your flight got delayed, you didn't get in time to pick up your packet at our expo at 8 o'clock by 8 p.m. We do have packet pickup at both locations in the morning. So, but it's a short window. It's, 3:45 to 5:15, I think. So just make sure you're getting there early enough to pick up your packet. And then the full marathon loads at Vernon Worthen Park, which is where the finish line is.
Okay.
And the half marathon loads at Sandtown Park, which is not where the marathon ends, or the half marathon. So it's on the course, but you load a few blocks away from the finish line. And if you're concerned about getting back there after the marathon, we do have a bus system for the half marathon runners to return to their vehicles. So don't worry about that. But yeah, get on those buses. Kind of feels like the middle of the night. That's what's exciting about a race. And then we get you up there, and then the party continues because our start line is, we go by hashtag like no other. And it really, I've been in a lot of races and participated, and I've never seen anything like this. We have burn barrels with fires going, and it's lit up, and there is music just blaring, and it is the biggest hype party that you'll have ever gone to. We have, tons of porta potties and all the things that you need. We have, little food, little coffee, little hot chocolate for you. But then as we start our race, and this will be the third year that we've done this, we have a really cool drone show that starts our race for us. And you are at the start lines of these races in the most beautiful area of Utah, and you have really dark skies. And so you are looking at the stars, enjoying these dark, dark skies. We turn off all the lights that have lit up the start line, and a drone show comes on and counts us off. And that's how we start our marathon. So really, really fun time. So just bear with us if you have to be up there a little longer than you want to, but try and make it like a party within itself, because it's really, really a lot of fun.
So how long have you been doing the drone show to start the race, and how did that come about?
This is our third year. We're always looking at like what we can do to make a better experience for the athletes. And so we saw a drone show somewhere, and we just thought, oh, wouldn't it be cool up there, because it's so dark and it's so special. And it just worked really well the first year, and they kind of did it as a favor, and we were like, are we going to be able to afford this again? But all of our athletes have loved it so much, so we've just made it work. And the partners that we have that pull that off for us just do an excellent job. So it's really been fun, and it changes a little bit every year.
Well,
yeah, and they're local. The drone company is local to St. George too, so it's just been a really good partnership.
Sounds magical, and I'm a little bitter that I won't be at the start line to see it. So
I know. I know we're so worried about getting you down at the finish line to welcome those first athletes in, which is again another challenge, because once we get up to the start line, we have to go around a really long way, because we can't be on our course once the race starts to get you back. And it's just not, it doesn't work well. We're gonna figure out a way to get helicoptered down in the future.
I was gonna say, I would do the little thing like the Coast Guard, they wear the little straps, and you just dangle me over. Yeah. I could do that. I would totally do that.
We'll work on that. That'll be a goal. That'll be the next goal.
Okay. So we've got some questions, and I want to pull them up before we move it on. So Darylyn wants to know, is it true that a family member can drop them off at a start line instead of riding the bus?
We really don't encourage it, because again, it's really hard. We have our athletes, or we have our, all of our aid stations are being set up in the pitch black, and it really worries me having anyone on course. The road hard closes at 6 a.m. So if you want to get a family member up there and then get all the way back down on the course, you still have to get them up there at least by 5 a.m. And I will just say, please use caution, because there are people on course. But it's just a lot better. It's part of the experience to ride the bus and be with people and have that as well. So it doesn't really save you time, or, to do it that way.
That I understand how she's working. I'm like, oh, you'll work the system, but maybe the system is for you, Darylyn. Just give it a try this year. show up, be a part of the bus thing. If it doesn't work for you, maybe next year you get dropped off. So where do people park for their, when they're going to their shuttles to be taken up the mountain to the start line? Is there ample parking all over St. George?
Yeah, all of our streets and all of our parking garages are free. So you can really park anywhere. There isn't just a designated like big parking lot, especially for the half marathon. You're going to probably do street parking. That we have some surrounding churches. We have big maps that you'll look at the expo to find the best parking. But yeah, you just kind of first come, first serve, find parking.
Okay. And I want to encourage everybody to get there even earlier than you anticipate. I mean, race mornings can often be chaotic, even in the most well-organized organizations. So, we're all glutton for punishments on race weekend. We all have to wake up at ungodly hours, but we signed up for this, whether you're running it or you're working it. We're early birds. This is how we roll. So just set the alarm early. I always set one for like 3 a.m. and 3:01 a.m. and 3:02 so I don't miss it. But you don't want to be stressed because you missed your bus or you showed up late and you're panicking. That's not the way to start off this magical race weekend. So show up early and just things will be smooth if you do. James wants to know, how dark will it be at the start? Should he have a headlamp?
You can definitely carry one if you like. It is dark when the race starts, so you will be, and we try to light it as much as we can. I would say probably for the first 15 or 20 minutes of running, it feels a little dark, but quickly the sun will rise, and that's part of the beauty of the race. So you'll kind of have that dusk. It'll be like dusk by the time the race starts.
Okay. Yeah, because it's 7 a.m.
Yeah.
7 a.m. start, right?
Yeah, 7 a.m. start. So it's about 7:10, 7:15 that you're, feeling like, okay, it's not very dark anymore.
Yeah, got it. Okay, so Heidi says, we're a group running the half, but one of us is running the full. Kudos to that group member. Will there be a place to drop her off to get to her bus?
Yeah, bus loading is in 2 separate places. So if you want to do that, you'll have to make time. It's just about a half a mile between bus loading. So you could definitely drop her off first and then park at the half, or do it backwards so that you're like, if the full marathon runner dropped all the half marathon runners off, then she would park at the finish line, which would probably be easier for everyone.
Very, very good. Yeah, smart. And Allie says, where do I find out which bus I'm on again?
On your bib, you'll have your bus time on preloaded. So you'll have your name on your bib and your bus time. And that's why we check that when you load. So just wait and see. And if you don't like it, you can buy a VIP pass, which I really like because you can stay on the bus until the race starts. But again, then you miss the fires and the fun, and it's kind of whatever you like, whatever's going to make you feel good.
Right. It's like it's the community, right? I always say we could all go for a run of these distances anywhere, anytime. The whole reason for doing the St. George Marathon is to do this course with these people and get all the hoopla at the start and the finish. And so if you miss out on that stuff, you're missing out on the St. George Marathon, right? Just get with the program and do all the things. Yes.
Yeah, it's really true. I mean, that is so much a part of the fun for me. I always like it when I'm on a bus when like even the, people are silent. They're like talking and laughing and having fun. It just, it just brings this level of excitement. It's, it's your day at Disneyland, right? Just enjoy the whole day and all the things.
That's right. And don't be shy. If you're sitting next to a stranger on the bus, say hello. That person probably wants to talk to you and get all their willies out. They're just being shy. So runners, just consider yourself part of the St. George Marathon team. Even if you came alone, by the time you get here, you're no longer alone. You're part of the posse, and you should act accordingly. So drones say go, and everybody starts running. How often are the hydration stations and the gels and the medical, et cetera, et cetera?
Okay, so we have a lot of stuff on course. First of all, our gels are e-gel, and we'll have a caffeinated and a non-caffeinated. So if you haven't trained with that and you want to give it a try this week, it's probably not a bad idea. We have, let's see, we have 17 aid stations, and we have 3 gel stations. Jordan is helping me with a little bit of details. At this point in our week, everything starts like there's a lot of information in my brain as the details start to get a little foggy. But we have plenty on course, and we have water and Gatorade, and we have bananas and oranges also. So we'll have all that stuff in different places for you. And then we have a really great team of nurses and nursing students that are on course all over too to help you. We'll give you icy hot. We'll rub you down. We just go above and beyond to provide for you. So you'll be all set.
Support you getting through it. Coming from Gainesville, Florida, and a University of Florida graduate multiple times, I have to remind everyone that every time you have a sip of Gatorade, you bring your arms up like that and you say, "Go Gators."
I love that.
Yeah, it's
okay. So I'm from Maryland originally, and when you sing the national anthem, you yell the word "O" for Orioles. So I like that.
So can you see that one?
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone goes, "Oh!" The stadium goes crazy. I love things like that.
I do.
Sort of St. George Marathon tradition like that.
We're adding on. Yeah, the Gatorade was invented for the Florida Gators in the 60s when the team was out in the sweltering heat, melting. So Dr. K. So anyways, go Gators. Right. This is what everybody's got to do or else.
Okay. Well, I didn't know it was related to Gatorade, but yes, definitely do that. And then it helps the volunteers know too, maybe what you're wanting, water or Gatorade.
That's right. Okay. So I questions. Are there porta potties at every hydration station?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
good.
there are.
And there's probably plenty of porta potties at each start line.
So many. Now, I worry that, everyone uses them the last 20 minutes before the race starts. So there might be lines, but it is like a sea of porta potties up there. So many. Yeah, you'll be all set.
Yeah. And I encourage everybody to grab a sip at least if you're running the full, you should have at least 17 sips of beverage because your hydration counts and it's a little tougher at higher elevations. And then as the day gets warmer, if you stay hydrated, you're going to feel better. You're going to perform better. And you're going to be less likely to have any real struggles.
Yeah, definitely. There's also some really fun things that happen on course. So we'll have a map for spectators to view along the course, but we have some really fun high school bands that play along the course. And then we've had some longstanding volunteers just take it upon themselves. Like there's been a man who lives downtown close to the finish line that just every year spends the whole morning giving out otter pops on his dime. And so that's really fun. We also have an area just about a mile from the finish that does cold icy washcloths. So, if you're struggling the last 5K, there is a lot going on as you enter the downtown. And so look for some of the fun secret things that happen that sometimes I feel like we don't even know about, but that it's just awesome that our community comes out there and just gives things away.
Well, and I think that's so helpful. Like when I run a race and my knee hurts, but somebody gives me licorice, all of a sudden the licorice serves as some sort of pain management item for me. So all the distraction goes a long way of making it fun and taking away from any potential suffering. Not that any of our athletes are going to suffer because it's just going to be all positive. Okay. Greg is getting out into the nitty gritty. He wants to know Gatorade, normal Gatorade or Gatorade Endurance?
Just normal Gatorade. Yeah. Just lemon lime, just the old fashioned.
Can't go wrong.
And that works.
Can't
Yep.
go wrong. Okay.
And I will say too, when you get towards the finish line, this will affect some of you, not all of you, but we delineate our finish line so that those faster runners, especially our elite runners that are coming in, know to stay to the left for the marathon and to the right for the half marathon. So that's really important as we, as those first couple hundred runners come in to the chute. Yeah. That we're seeing you because we want to know who you are and that we're really recognizing you. It makes it easier for you, Fitz, to do the announcing for too. Yeah. And then as the race, kind of thins out a little bit, we just open that up all into one chute. And you'll notice by bib color, the racers that come in. But just be aware of that. Like really, if you are finishing in those really fast times, to do that.
Okay, so a couple things I have on my list. I've been making notes. So we just mentioned the finish line. Most important thing at the finish line is runner safety and runner courtesy. And so reminder that the finish line is exclusively only and primarily for registered athletes who have gone the distance. So the only people who should be in that secure area are runners who have gone from the start to the finish, and not your families and not your friends and definitely not your babies. This is Michelle, what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, we've both been at enough finish lines that we really see that as a danger, not only to the athletes, but to your loved ones. Like I have literally seen kids get knocked over, and no one wants to end a race experience that way. And I understand that you want to celebrate with your family. And we have a really nice chute that gets you back to them very quickly and easily. So we're really going to stress that you meet them in the park and you're ready to receive them there, because our course has to stay secure and it has to stay safe for our athletes. And we really, really want you to respect that.
Yeah. Yeah. And you've seen children knocked down. I've seen runners on their last legs at the end of their big distance get hit by children or grandpas, and seen athletes take a tumble right before the finish line because someone was in there that shouldn't have been. So let your family do their job. Their job is to cheer and clap and celebrate you from the outside of the chute. And if they want to be in there one day, register them, get them started in like a 1 mile or a 5K or whatever, make them a part of the event. But the finish line is exclusively for registered athletes. Finish line etiquette also mandates that you put your hands up and you smile. You maybe give a number 1 finger, or you put the wings out. I like cartwheels. I like shouting. Certainly big smiles. The one thing you're forbidden to do besides bringing guests is look at your watch. If you look at your watch and make a grouchy face, we will send you back to the start and make you do it again. Right?
There you go. There you go. Yeah, I mean, we're trying to capture as many of you in that finish line chute as possible. You want that photo to keep with you. So yeah, make it epic. I agree.
Who are your photographers?
We use Marathon Photo. So everyone gets a bunch of photos, that they're taking on course. And then we have a bunch of local photographers that try and get those scenic views for us to use for marketing purposes. Yeah.
Outstanding. And then what is your race hashtag? Is it St. George Marathon?
It's hashtag like no other. So we really want to know if you agree with our hashtag. After you've experienced, let us know, because we really do try to be unique and special. Yeah. And I am getting corrected. So I want to take this back. The person that asked the Gatorade question, it is Gatorade Endurance on the course this year. So little upgrade for you there. Nice.
That makes sense. That's an excellent choice. Obviously, the other Gatorade is really good if you have a stomach bug. Right? At least that's what I was given when I had it. But yeah, Gatorade Endurance. Okay. Perfect choice.
Just given ginger ale, but yeah.
Or that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So we've got the photos, folks. Anytime you pass a photographer, ham it up. Even if you're dogging it and your knee hurts and you're limping, if they point that lens at you, bend those elbows, lift those knees, big smile, give the muscles, whatever, because these photos in this spectacular place are going to be framers, maybe even your LinkedIn profile picture. So don't be shy when they point their lens at you. And then when you upload them to social media, make sure you tag the St. George Marathon and use the hashtag like no other. And if you do that, then we can like your photos and maybe even share. Do you reshare, Michelle, their beautiful photos and videos?
Yes. Yeah, we love to do that. So please, please, please give us lots of things to share.
Okay. We've got a big, important request. Are you ready for this one?
Yeah.
Talk about finish line food. Chocolate milk. What you got?
Okay, we do. We have Cache Valley Creamery as one of our big sponsors. Again, they're local to Utah. And we will have chocolate milk. We will have cheese. We will have fruit. We will have water, of course. We will have bread from Great Harvest Bread. They, a piece of bread with some nice butter on it. We also have a company locally that does this for us every year. They're called Creamies. Have you ever had a creamy? It's popsicle, but creamy, and they're delicious and they go fast. What else do we have? Oh, we have Coke, which is actually a treat I like at the end of a race.
Diet Coke, perhaps?
We are Utah. We don't have beer, so
Those products are like the best. Yeah,
you can have. Yeah, Coke is really popular here. So lots of good food, lots of things to come through. You're going to come through the finish line chute. We're going to give you your medal. If you did the 5K the night before, you get a medal there, but you also get a double medal for participating in both races. We call that the Desert Double. So you could go home with 3 awards for 2 races, which is kind of cool. But you get all that. You go through. We have misters at the finish line, so you can kind of cool off a little bit, get all your treats, and then we just finish you out all the way down the road and then send you into the park at Vernon Worthen to meet your loved ones, just hang out. That's where your recovery bag will be. There's a station where you can get your race results printed. We will do our award show for the marathon at 11 a.m. and the half marathon at 10 a.m. So if you want to watch and get those awards, we also have age group awards. So you can just come to the tent and see how you did with those. Your card will read and say what place you were in. So make sure you do all those things. Make sure you get your recovery bag. Make sure you just stay to enjoy. There are so many people at the park. It's a really, really exciting place to be and to hang out and wait for your other friends to come in and continue to party with us. We're usually there. The course, we kind of open the main road back up at 1:15. That's when we have to kick you off if you didn't make it to that last 5K. And then we usually welcome runners till about 2:30 is when we kind of close down our finish line. I mean, we're not going to close it down without you coming in, but those are the cutoffs, and that's what we usually see. So all those great things. And by then it gets hot and you'll want to go home and get a shower and, show off your bling.
Yeah. Well, so I encourage everybody to show up early. Plan to stay later. If you cross the finish line at 11:30, don't plan to leave at 11:35. Hang out again. This is race weekend. This is an opportunity to meet new friends or see old friends, or maybe you fall in love in the party in the park. Who knows? But there's lots of hoopla, and you should be a part of the hoopla because, again, you've done all the training runs, probably alone, out doing nothing special. This is all the specials. So just build it into your schedule, not to go home until 1:32, etc. When you come through the finish line, again, I will be there. If I know you, meaning you've introduced yourself to me at the expo on Friday, it's going to be a lot easier for me to make your approach special. And that's on my agenda. Whether you win the race or you are dead last, I will fawn all over every last one of you. So give me the opportunity by saying hi. You can say hi on social media in advance. You can tell me that you just had 2 full leg replacements, that both of your legs are brand new. And I'll be able to say, this guy's got brand new, or she had just had a baby, or whatever it is. You can just tell me those things. And that's nice when I get to personalize all the stuff. Okay. So,
we love all the runner stories too. So many great, great stories come out of marathon day.
yeah,
That's my favorite part. Just all the whys.
yeah.
We want to know your whys.
Sometimes I'm standing at a start line, there, 20,000 people, whatever. And I just feel like, I wish I knew, like, how did they get here? Why are they here? I wish I could know all of their stories. It's totally impractical, but that's what I like. But there's certainly a group of folks that are bold enough to come up and say, guess what, Fitz, I blankety blank. And then I write it down, and then I look for you. And, sometimes I miss you, and that makes me sad, but I do my absolute best to catch everybody, but especially the people I know. And if I know your story, it's great to be able to share the story with the other people, because it's so inspiring that you just had twins last week and now you're running the marathon or whatever it is. So yeah, we love our runners, right? Okay, so Raskirks, who has the most interesting name of the day, wants to know, will there be metal engraving in the park?
There is not. And I'll tell you one of the reasons why is that we have these unique sandstone metals. And, St. George is, if you've ever been to Sedona, it's like beautiful, beautiful red rock country. And so these metals are unique, and they truly are sandstone. And so we found when we engrave them, they lose their rigidity, I guess.
Right.
So we don't engrave, but you're welcome to do what you want with them when you get them, but we don't offer that service.
Okay. Brian Barkowski says, is there an area for family to cheer on runners at the full marathon start line?
No, there is not. The marathon start lines are closed, and the road is closed as well. So there will be viewing a few miles up the course in the town of Vail. That's an entrance that you can get in, and that's at mile 7 of the marathon. And then also about mile 14 is the top of Snow Canyon State Park. So you can enter and pay and go up to the top of the park and view from there. But those are really, and then there's like a neighborhood called the Ledges that you can get to around that same area. But those are the only, our course is a little quiet. If you really want to see your athletes, the bottom half has a trail. You can kind of be adjacent to them, but not on course. But the course is a little bit closed. So your best viewing is really from mile 20 to the finish. So catch them there. And I should mention that we have a really great marathon app. So everyone can download it now. It's STG Marathon. So go to your app store, and it's free, and you can, there'll be live tracking for all of your loved ones on there. And you can also write them unique messages. So if you run with your phone, you'll be able to view them. You don't need your phone for your loved ones to track you. That tracking happens on your bib with your chips. So, and that will have a lot of information too, bus maps, course maps, spectator areas. So you can download that right now if you want to kind of dwell in that way and see what that's all about.
Yeah, that makes life a lot easier. Everybody download the app right now while we're talking. Do it right now. Here you go.
I know. Should I show you what it looks like? Yeah, you can start using it. So really fun.
And then the other thing I'd like to remind everybody is that our course is, oh, look at that app. Perfect. Everything there. That our course will be loaded with volunteers. We do not get to put on events of this magnitude without an army of volunteers. And so, yes, be nice to the volunteers always. Say the thank you, but go beyond saying thank you. If you can make this their best day ever, then they will continue to come back and volunteer. So my advice is to tell them how sparkly their eyes are, how fresh their breath is. Just dig deep and come up with some thoughtful compliments, thoughtful praise, and then they will want to return and serve this fine organization. So
Yeah, and that's part of like our secret sauce. I feel like St. George, 20, 30 years ago was a pretty small town, and we've seen some exponential growth, but we have volunteers and captains that are generational. They have done it for longer than most of you have run the St. George Marathon, and now their children are doing it, and their children's children are doing it, and they're out there. So they really, like, neighborhoods have taken on these aid stations and just done them for years and years. And I think that's really fun to have that kind of legacy with our volunteers as well. So
yeah, and they deserve the sweetness, right? They're going to be up as early as we are, and they're getting nothing out of it other than just being nice.
Yeah, they love it.
Okay, so is there anything you would like to address about the actual race thing before we move on to the legacy thing? Oh no, look at this. Rudy Novotny, my announcing bestie, wants to know about the Yetis that have been spotted along the course.
Well, that's a surprise to me. Tell us more.
Ridiculous, which I love.
We want to know.
Besides the Yetis, anything else you'd like to mention about race day before we move on to the legacy dinner?
Yeah, just that our St. George Rec Center is right across from the park. And so we will move all of our medals, all of our, shirts if you find out, you got the wrong size, and then all of the athlete bags that didn't get picked up, they'll move to the rec center, and we'll have the rec center open until 6:00 on Saturday. So about 2:00, we move all that to the rec center. If you forgot something, you can still get it at 6:00. And then on Sunday from 10 to 2, if you forgot anything, just go to the rec center and we'll have it there for you. And then just, if you go home and realize you forgot something, we'll still send you stuff for about a week before we get rid of your bags and things like that. So if you forget anything, just let us know. And for the cost of shipping, we'll get it back to you as well. So
That's very generous.
I think that covers a lot of it. One area to spectate too, if you don't want to be in crowds, but you want to be at the park to welcome your loved ones, is we'll have it live screened on a big screen TV. So you'll be able to see what's happening with you welcoming everyone through the finish line, also in the park. So if you don't get that upfront good view, don't worry. Okay. You'll be able to see.
Okay. So fun. So fun. Ever since I announced that I'll be announcing this race, so many other race directors have reached out to say it is a spectacular weekend, so perfectly organized in a majestic place. So I'm stoked. If anybody else is brand new like me, I know we're in for a treat.
Well, I'm really thankful for that high praise. We're already planning. Next year is going to be 50 years, and we're just really excited to just have that legacy and welcome those athletes in for that monumental year. It's really, I feel like St. George's hasn't even really been a city for 50 years. Right. From small town to this, and we'll welcome 10,000 athletes next year. So, and we have a lot of big announcements for next year. So things are just going to continue to get better and better.
Yeah. Well, that's because you've had so much practice getting it right?
Oh, there is one more thing that I want to mention. This is actually a little, a thing that athletes, I want them to know, and they'll be receiving this in an email this week. We did have some road construction on our course this year. So they're building a bridge and they didn't quite get it finished. And we had to recertify our course, which we gladly did. It's totally certified, Boston qualifying, like everything is good to go. But our mile marker signs, and it only moved our start finish line by a little bit, but our mile marker signs go in the ground. And so instead of digging holes and repositioning those off for just a 1-year change, they are going to be a little bit off. So if you're the person that loves to wear your watch and see everything, just know that they're going to be maybe about 100 feet off, shouldn't be a big deal. Like, to the average person like me that's just oblivious to it all. But
Right.
I just want you to know the distance is completely correct, but the mile markers would just be a little bit different just this year. Then next year, we're going to recertify again, go back to our old course that you all know and love. And honestly, you won't even notice the difference, but I want to point it out for those of you that are really conscious on your watch.
Well, you're right to do so because there will be those like really
Yeah.
specific type A's, right?
Yeah.
With the phone call. That's a good explanation.
Okay.
Okay.
I think we've covered it all. We've covered a lot.
Okay. So everybody at 2:30, whatever, everybody smells really bad. They leave the finish line, they go back to their home or their hotel, they take a shower, hopefully. And then we have the legacy dinner. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so we are so blessed to have runners that just love our marathon and come back year after year after year. And they really are so inspirational. So we celebrate them. So, and the really neat thing is as you enter a club, it starts with 10 years. So if you're running for you, if you've run 9 marathons and this is your 10th year and you make it across the finish line, you're eligible for our banquet dinner. And we let in an athlete and a guest for free, and then additional tickets can be purchased. And we welcome runners to just participate in that. We feed about 800 and we give away lots of prizes, and we just try to like thank you for your dedication to our race. And so it's kind of a neat way to culminate the celebration. So if you're not there yet, get there because that's a fun event.
It's incredible. And folks, just so you know, when I asked Michelle, so I'll be hosting, I said, Michelle, how many people do we expect at this legacy dinner? In my mind, she was going to say 85. And she goes, just shy of 1,000. What? Outrageous.
Yeah.
And exciting. I mean, it's absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it's really fun. I mean, it's really a celebration just to hear and to see and to take pictures. We take pictures uniquely of the 10-year, the 20-year, the 30-year, and the 40-year club members. And wow, talk about athletes. This is the place to see the most amazing athletes. And they, they're there to celebrate with their family. And we're just so proud of their accomplishment. I wish I was like Oprah and could give them all a car or something, but we have a lot of fun and we do have some fun prizes.
Okay. So folks, as we wrap things up, use the comment section, tell us where you're coming in from and what you're most looking forward to. I'm going to wrap it up with the good stuff. How many states are represented, Michelle?
So this year we have 47 states. We have 13 countries, and we just welcome. We're always kind of like discouraged. We somehow like always miss like Rhode Island or Vermont or Delaware. Like, so call out to those athletes. Maybe I'll let you in for free next year if we don't feel, because I always like, why are we missing just 1 or 2 or 3 states? But
I'm going to tell you the races that I announced where we have 48 or 49. It's usually one of the Dakotas missing. And I'm not going to bring me shame to the Dakotas because I love me some Fargo. But and I think we should know which states are missing. And then we can send our army of athletes out to shame those states. And
I think I might visit them. Yeah, go door to door.
What gives, Rhode Island, right?
Right.
All right, we've got Jonathan. It sounds like he's an old favorite here, coming from Layton, Utah. Most looking forward to getting his 30-year pin. Oh, and meeting me. Well, I am very excited to meet you too, Jonathan. 30 years. So do you feel like you know so many of these athletes that have been coming back, your legacies?
I know them by name, but not so much by face. So that's a work in progress for sure.
Yeah.
We see a lot of familiar names, and that's really fun for us as race directors to just get excited about the people that are coming back.
Yeah. Well, what a huge legacy program. And then to offer this huge dinner at the end of the weekend is a big deal. And especially the Japanese contingency. And then you have some locals from last year. They're in Japan. Is that race in Japan this weekend? Is it the same weekend?
No, it's in November. So we'll get ready to send the winners of the St. George Marathon from last year will go in November to race in Ibigawa. So
Wow.
that's really fun. It's part of our prize pack for those elite runners.
Well, that's a
Yeah.
real incentive for our leaders to kick it into high gear to,
Yeah.
fight for number one, right?
Yeah, yeah, and we send that delegation home Sunday night. So we have a final dinner for them, and it's really fun. They get to bring their host families and talk about the experience they've had in America, and that's a really fun dinner. Also, we do a lot of eating. We do a lot of playing. It's really fun. Fun fact too, like you might be interested to know that our oldest runner this year is 90 and our youngest is 9.
Oh.
So we have quite a spread of athletes
And,
coming.
and our 90-year-old athlete, what is he or she running?
So she is running the half marathon, and we have an 86-year-old running the full. So right
Phenomenal.
up there. And then same thing, a half marathon girl is running the half marathon, and then a 12-year-old is running the marathon. So those are our youngest and our oldest. So
Wow. That's a
I always
good.
like those stats too. It's remarkable to me.
Okay, and here's a fun question from Heidi. Will there be a meet and greet with the elites?
So the elites will have their own designated room to receive their packets. And yeah, we'll have, some fruit and some healthy snacks for them. And they can drop off their bottles for their aid stations. So we don't have a formal time for them all to meet, but we welcome them to just come and hang out in that room and chat with each other and enjoy each other's company.
Love it. Love it. All right, ma'am. You've got work to do. You've got a few days and then hoopla begins. Is there anything you'd like to add before we sign off, Michelle?
I think you've covered a lot. They're probably sick of hearing from us, but this has been so fun. Fritz and I haven't actually met, but as soon as I got her on the phone, I knew she was a great race director for our race because we like to really bring the energy. And so it's just going to be a really fun
Yeah.
weekend. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks for
Yeah.
having me on your show.
Of course. Thank you for being here. And again, I arrived Thursday, so Friday morning I'll be there at the start of the expo, and she's got all the answers, but I can help you find answers if you ask me
Yeah.
questions. I will do my best. But yeah, show up with a happy face. We're gonna have fun, and if anybody is feeling nervous right now, just know that there's nothing scary in St. George. I always say cancer's scary and hurricanes are scary. Nothing scary in St. George. This is all about fun and athletic adventure and living your best life. So, turn that nervous energy into excitement. You're going to have the best time. And yeah, lots of fun to be had. Lots to be fun. Nothing but success this weekend.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
All right. Thank you, Michelle. Everybody,
Okay.
thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to follow St. George Marathon on Instagram and Facebook. Start tagging them in all of your photos and say hi this weekend. We're looking forward to seeing you. Safe travels.
Thank you.
Bye.